10 surprising facts about Canada. From breathtaking landscapes to record-breaking facts, here are 10 amazing things about the Great White North. Stay till the end for a surprise fact. Did you know that Canada is the second largest country in the world? It spans 9.98 million square kilometers, only behind Russia. That's a lot of space. Combined, Canada is home to over 2 million lakes. Yes, you heard that right. It has more lakes than every other country on Earth combined. Let's travel north and take in the sights of one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Welcome to our channel, and let's get into it with 10 surprising facts about Canada. 10. You will never guess the size of Canada. In the grand scheme of things, it's gigantic. After all, it is the second largest country in the world by total area, stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. It borders the United States to the south and stretches above the 60th parallel. Farther north, Canada's Arctic territory borders the countries of Greenland and Iceland, as well as several other smaller countries. As a whole, Canada covers an area of 9.9 million square kilometers, or 3.82 million square miles, which is just slightly smaller than the entirety of Asia. For comparison, Canada is 5.5 times larger than the contiguous United States and 12.3 times larger than China. If this doesn't blow your mind, then wait until you hear our next fact. 9. Canada has more lakes than all of the rest of the world combined. With its sheer size and unique geography, it's no surprise that Canada holds this impressive title. The entire country is full of lakes and rivers, including the Great Lakes, which is a group of 5 major lakes on the border of Canada and the United States. The lakes are part of the largest group of freshwater lakes in the world by area and volume, and contain about 21% of all surface freshwater on Earth. The Great Lakes consist of Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. Altogether, they cover an area of 90,000 square miles and extend for about 1,000 miles along the border between Canada and the United States. These magnificent lakes formed over thousands of years as glaciers carved out the land during the last ice age and left behind a series of depressions that filled with water. While some of the lakes, such as Lake Superior, are quite large, others, like Lake Michigan, are hidden away in small basins. No matter how big or small, each lake has its own unique ecosystem that supports a wide variety of plants and animals. 8. It's a bilingual nation. The official languages of Canada are English and French. This makes it one of only a handful of countries in the world to have 2 official languages. English became the dominant language of government and business in Canada in the early 19th century, when British merchants and traders began to move to the colony. As a result, English replaced French as the main language of administration after the British conquest of New France in 1763. The British North America Act of 1867 made English the official language of the new Dominion of Canada. However, despite this, French remained an important language in Canada and continues to be used widely across the country. Today, approximately 23% of Canadians speak French as their first language. In addition, many Canadians are bilingual, speaking both English and French fluently. Quebec is the province where French is most commonly spoken, with 80% of the population using it as their primary language. 7. Canada has the world's longest coastline. With its vast landmass and numerous islands, Canada boasts the longest coastline in the world. The length of Canada's coastline is staggering, at over 202,080 kilometers, or 125,190 miles. This means that if you were to walk around the entire country's coast, it would take you over 24 hours to do so. The majority of Canada's coastline is located in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, which is the most easterly province in the country. The province's coastline is characterized by a rugged and dramatic landscape, including deep fjords, towering cliffs, and picturesque fishing villages. Other provinces with long coastlines include British Columbia, which is located on the Pacific coast, and Quebec, which stretches along the St. Lawrence River and the Gulf of St. Lawrence. 6. Canada is freezing cold. Although the country does span multiple climates, it is no secret that Canada is extremely cold. Summers can be warm in the southern regions of the country, but as you go further north, the temperatures start to drop dramatically. The city of Snag, Yukon holds the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Canada. On February 1, 1947, The temperature plummeted to a bone-chilling -63 degrees Celsius or -81.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine stepping outside to be greeted by such frigid temperatures. It is truly mind-boggling. And even in the more southern parts of the country, temperatures can still reach below zero in the winter months. Toronto, for example, experiences an average low of -16.6 degrees Celsius in January. 5. Canada owns the maple syrup game. If you think about maple syrup, you probably imagine the taste of sweet, delicious pancakes. But did you know that Canada dominates the global maple syrup market? In fact, Canada accounts for about 71% of the world's maple syrup production. So if you're a fan of maple syrup, you can thank Canada for that sweet treat. But it's not just the syrup itself that Canada has a monopoly on. The syrup's unique taste comes from the sugar maple tree, which grows in abundance throughout the country. In recent years, the demand for maple syrup has grown so much that Canada has had to export some of its surplus supply to other countries in order to meet global demand. But despite its popularity around the world, maple syrup is still very much ingrained in Canadian culture and is often seen as a national treasure. 4. The polar bear capital of the world. Churchill. Manitoba is known as the polar bear capital of the world, located on the western shore of Hudson Bay. Churchill is a small town that has become world-renowned for its polar bear tourism industry. Every year, hundreds of polar bears migrate through the town on their way to and from their summer feeding grounds. For the bears, Churchill is an essential part of their migration route. They come here to hunt for food before heading further north to breed and give birth. And for tourists, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see these majestic creatures in their natural habitat. Churchill is one of the few places in the world where polar bears can be seen up close and personal. The bears are truly fascinating creatures, and their sheer size and power is truly awe-inspiring. Seeing them roam through the streets of Churchill is an unforgettable experience. 3. The CN Tower set a world record. The CN Tower is a prominent landmark in Toronto and is a symbol of Canada, standing at 553.3 meters, or 1,815 feet tall. The tower was once the tallest freestanding structure in the world, holding the title for nearly 30 years. Built in 1976, the tower was constructed as a multi-purpose building that would serve as a communications and observation tower as well as a tourist attraction. It quickly became an iconic part of the Toronto skyline and a must-see destination for visitors to the city. Although the CN Tower is no longer the tallest building in the world, it still stands as the tallest building in Canada and the Western Hemisphere. It also holds several other records, including the world record for the highest outdoor observation deck. The tower's observation deck offers stunning panoramic views of the city of Toronto and Lake Ontario. Visitors can also enjoy a number of other attractions, including a revolving restaurant, an indoor and outdoor sky terrace, and the world's longest and highest outdoor elevator. 2. Canada was ahead of the game when it comes to same-sex marriage. In July of 2005, Canada became the 4th country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage. Prior to this, same-sex relationships were illegal in most parts of the world, and LGBTQ individuals faced significant discrimination and persecution. However, in recent years, there has been a growing movement towards acceptance and equality for LGBTQ people around the world. In 2005, this movement was gaining momentum in Canada, and there was a growing demand for legal recognition of same-sex relationships. After several years of debate and discussion, the Canadian Parliament passed legislation to legalize same-sex marriage. This was a historic moment for Canada and for the LGBTQ community around the world. It sent a message of acceptance and equality and paved the way for other countries to follow suit. Since then, same-sex marriage has become legal in many other countries around the world, including South Africa, Spain, and many more. 1. Canada is the most educated country in the world, according to a report by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. UNESCO, Canada, ranks first in the Human Development Index. This index takes into account factors such as life expectancy, education levels, and income per capita. One of the main reasons for Canada's high ranking is its commitment to education. The Canadian government invests heavily in education, and there is a strong emphasis on lifelong learning. In fact, According to a study by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, Canada has the highest percentage of adults with tertiary education in the world. Over 56% of Canadians have completed some form of post-secondary education, whether it be a college, technical school, or university. This compares to just 38% in the United States and 34% in the United Kingdom. As a result, Canada is home to a highly skilled workforce that is able to compete in the global economy. Well, that's it for today's video. Let us know in the comments what other crazy facts you know about Canada. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.